Good morning. Welcome back. Just enjoying some outdoor time here in the morning in Washington State. Just thankful for a week of a lot of good learning, a lot of good connections with fellow Bitcoiners and Christians, and I love it. It's just so good. It's going to be a little bit of a different rip today. I'm going to read you some Proverbs, chapter 1. It's the beginning of a new month, the month of June, and I don't have the block height for you today, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. Proverbs chapter 1, the beginning of knowledge. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand the words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive. And whole, like those who go down to the pit, we shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird, but these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the markets she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. Because I have called and you refused to listen, have stretched out my hand and no one has heeded. Because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you. When terror strikes you like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. Then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me. Because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would have none of my counsel and despised all my reproof, therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure, and will be at ease, without dread or disaster. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I don't know if you can hear the birds. There's a lot of trees here. There's a lot of birds, and I love that. Lots of trees, some more mountains than I'm used to out in the flat plains of Ohio. I am thankful for this. Yeah, this has been quite a week. Very kind of a little bit overwhelming. Going to Las Vegas and being at the Bitcoin 2025 conference. But I've said it before, and I continue to say it that it's not about going to the conference and learning some sort of new tech, hack or the latest in like mining and like what's going on there. Although that is very interesting to me. I love the tech aspects of how humanity is being improved. But more than that, I love meeting the people, many of God's people. I love it. I love it. And it's kind of interesting. Some of them don't even know they're God's people yet, in my opinion. But that's a subject for another talk. Yeah, it was very good, and what I wanted, the reason for my rip today is that people sleep while Bitcoin moves ahead. What do I mean by that? I think it's sort of a little bit self-explanatory, but let me dive into it for a few minutes. And I wanted to just kind of discuss a little bit about the little rip that we did at the Steak and Shake with Jerry and Jor and Rajat and Kevin. There were a couple of other guys there, but they didn't want to be on camera. And so shout out to Daniel and Craig, also part of the group we had there. We were moving as a unit. It was really something. It was fun, although we were in the Fremont Street experience, so that was like almost a contact high that I didn't really enjoy. The Fremont Street experience I could live without. There's a lot of stuff about Las Vegas I could live without, especially the heat. But that's okay. That's okay. We went there. You know what you're going into when you go there. At least I do. And so the kind of the fun thing that was about kind of pinging off each other and getting to know each other and stuff was that we were all just sort of like this and then this, and then we're talking, and there's this interaction, and there's this dynamic that is just like it's very good, right? We're just talking, and like I don't know how to explain it, but it's to me there's no accidents, right? I just love that there's a lot of signal, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of kind of this sort of joy, just joyful anticipation of like where we are and kind of what's unfolding right before us, and we kind of don't even, like, we don't know, but we're kind of anticipate something. And I would say we don't know, like, price wise, there's so many millions of people that would say, well, you just expect the price to go up. And I'm like, well, no, there's a lot more than that. Yeah, we do expect the price to go up. I would say price of Bitcoin, but so much more than just the number, right? Number go up, right? That's kind of like, ground pounder that that's all they wants to do is, more money, more money, more money. No, it's not that. It's something a little bit bigger and a little bit more interesting than that. a lot more interesting than that. So, this is, the people sleep while Bitcoin moves ahead. It's like we were walking along and we went into the Steak and Shake, and it was so fun because I got to, I got to, I got to enjoy this time where I was sitting there just reflecting on stuff, and I had all these guys sitting there with me, and I was thinking, man, we need to just like let's do something. Let's just talk about this a little bit, because this is just like, can we just record this real quick? And it was just so impromptu, I mean, and all those guys were like, yeah, let's do this, and I mean, I love it that they were so easygoing about this with me. They could have just been like, oh, let's wait till we, get some, or whatever. But they were just like, no, let's do something. And, so I whipped out my phone and here we go, like, and the audio is horrible. So sorry about that. But, it's like when the moment is like, it's like ripe, it's just like, it's this feeling, it's just like this burning passion going like, man, Bitcoin is moving ahead because people, yeah, the tech, but guess what? The tech means nothing without the people. The people are ready for Bitcoin. They don't know it. Many of them don't know it yet. They're sick and tired of this system. And I mean, of all walks of life. I am talking about people in the Northwest, for example, like my sisters that live up here. Have they been affected by high prices? Have they been affected by high prices? Hey, look, we can have, 180 degrees divergent opinions about like what should happen this way or what should happen that way or whatever. Okay, we can. But if we understand prices are high, inflation is a universal language, no? Inflation is like, it hurts the people. And so I had some really great talks with my oldest of my youngest sisters here, and there's many things we don't agree on, but I'll tell you what, there are some things that we do agree on, and that is that we are the people, and those guys up there, the elite people who make all these decisions about all these things that affect we the people, they don't care. They could give a rip. And I think it's very clear, even to her and lots of folks up here, that, like, hey, kind of a little bit, you're on your own. You're a little bit on your own. There's no one coming to save you. You kind of need to like figure this out. You're going to have a plan B. Makes sense? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm sure a lot of you do. But what is the plan B? And my sister, like, I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know. I mean, it's like, you really don't. And when you get to Bitcoin, some of the reasons why you get to Bitcoin is because you've done your study, right? You've thought about it. But the other reason why you get to Bitcoin and you're ready for Bitcoin is because you're out of desperation, it's like drinking, great water, it's like, I am so thirsty. I am so ready for some good water, like, and this is exact, and I'm going to bring it right back around to God's word. That is that, when you're thirsty, when you're ready, when you've beat your head against the wall long enough, like I did, before I met the Lord, before he called me to him, I was desperate, thirsty for the living word of God, in the Bible. And I am seeing the same thing playing out with like inflation. Like people are desperate for like, it's gonna bring them to their knees, man. Because I think, like Jack Mahler said in one of his rips, he goes, man, they're they're going to deflate the dollar, or I'm sorry, they're going to debase the dollar down to the ground, down to the ground. And I'm like, okay, yeah, down to the ground. That is, you think that might be low, but there might be a cliff. You toss it off the cliff and it hits the ground way, way down there in the bottom of the Grand Canyon. So, you just never know. You just never know when people are ready to hear. You never know when people are ready to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. And you never know when people are ready to hear about Bitcoin. The tool, the only sound money there is, that I believe that people are going to migrate to in droves. And it's not going to be happening just kind of like itsy bitsy, here and there a little bit like it has been. We got what 100? I got 50 million people in the United States that hold Bitcoin. There's going to be a whole lot more. We got 350 million people in this country, and I think there's going to be close to half at least that should have it. Because when the word starts to spread, there's going to be a bunch of people that need help, that need to know how to get some. So we what do we say? Get 100 million. No, get a million sats. That's great advice. Jerry said that, and he reiterated that, and I think that's a good goal to have. Like, doesn't matter. Just get a million sats. A million sats. Just get a million sats, and then do your homework. Start into your homework. Okay, you don't know why you're doing this. Okay, that's fine. You know, that thing in Steak and Shake, though. It was so cool because like you know I didn't really know about Steak and Shake before they started taking Bitcoin. I had never been to Steak and Shake. I think my kids have been, but I'd never been there. I'm like, yeah, hamburger place. It's like whatever. But they made a command decision to accept Bitcoin, um, and I'm not sure. Somebody maybe can tell me if they are worldwide. They probably are, but I don't know. But they're nationwide, and they started accepting Bitcoin supposedly at all their locations. Now I don't know if all their locations actually do. Maybe somebody can clarify that for me too. But I am passionate about a business that makes a command decision to like lead the way. MicroStrategy did that. Michael Saylor took MicroStrategy and led the way, and you can see where he is at now. Um, and there's other examples, right? But I think my point is that just kind of we're pinching ourselves, sort of like, well, here we are, right here. So I'll kind of finish with this because I can keep kind of. There's some other things I got to get going, but what I want to tell you is right before the uh, right before the thing there. Yeah, yeah. So I've got a short clip that I want to play that was done at the Steak and Shake right before I got my order. Okay, so this is really fun. So there's a kind of a little bit of a story here, and the story is that at the conference, they Steak and Shake had a booth at the conference, right? They had, and I can show a picture of that too, but um, let me bring that up. Okay, this might as well. Okay, here we go. So I've got this booth at Steak and Shake, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is great, And so I walk up to the Steak and Shake booth, and there's these two guys in suits they're being interviewed, or there's two guys in suits there. There's one guy that's talking to this other guy in front of me who wants to interview this guy. So he walks up to him, and he's doing this interview thing, and he's got a guy filming and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is going to be great. And so, I'm standing there. I'm like, I'm going to talk to this guy from Steak and Shake, Nope. So he gets finished with the guy in front of me, and he goes, the guy leaves and stuff. And so I kind of just politely walk up to the guy in the suit, and I go, hey, would you mind if I just take a couple minutes of your time and just ask you a few questions and have you talk about, the rollout and all that stuff with the Bitcoin Lightning payments? And he goes, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I'm like, well, just be a few minutes, And he goes, no, I can't do that. And I said, well, there was a guy just interviewing it just now, and now he's gone, and I'm here. Is it, you can't do that. No, I'm not supposed to do that. You have to contact this guy from corporate and blah, blah, blah. And he's the guy. And I'm like, so that guy, just what would he do? Just walk up and just kind of like in your face, sort of like, here you go. And he's like, yeah, he did that. And I was like, and I'm like, I just stood there, and I was kind of like processing this. I was like, no, I'm out. See ya. I'm not gonna it's just like, what? You send your guy in a suit to a trade show, and he's at the booth, but he's not allowed to talk to people and interview kind of things. So it's like, what are you doing that for? Okay, so anyway, with that, so after he wouldn't talk to me, then I recorded this little ditty right here. This is kind of like just showing you, this girl in the video has got this little chocolate Bitcoin thing. Watch this. He's showing off the chocolate. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's one of the guys that was there. But anyway, so all that to say that it was interesting to see them there. And I really thought that, hey, man, this is going to be great. I get to talk to this guy. But it actually got better, because I was able to go to the Steak and Shake in Vegas, down in Fremont Street, and with the group of guys that I was with. And so I order my order. Okay, my order number was $295. And I order my order, and I pay with Bitcoin. And then I'm like, I'm going to go back there, and I'm going to talk to those three guys, because the three guys in suits in the back this time, they're over kind of away from the front counter and everything. They're in the back of the restaurant kind of thing, and they're just talking amongst each other. And I look over there, and I see the two guys that were there when I was at the show. And I'm like, okay. So I know those guys already. I'm going to go talk to the other guy and see if he's the guy that I should talk to. Well, they were both kind of looking at him like he was the boss. And I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. I'm talking to him. So I go over there and I talk to him, and I'm like, hi, my name's Bodie, and I'm interested in talking to you about Bitcoin and how you guys rolled this out. And he goes, my name's Dan. And I'm like, great, Dan. So we hit it off, and he's like ready to talk. And I'm like, okay, so here it comes. You ready? Hey. No, hold on a second. Got to get this. Welcome back. I am not doing this very well. I am so sorry. I've got to get this better editing. Somebody's got to get on the this thing here and get this going. So here we go. You ready? Hey there, welcome back. I'm standing here with Dan. He's a COO from Steak and Shake. And Dan, and I were just talking about, the rollout of Steak and Shake and, accepting Bitcoin Lightning payments. Dan, what can you tell us about, your interest, any other businesses that have been interested, and how's this rollout been going?
Well, for us, it's been amazing. We've seen a sustained spike in guest counts, which is really the biggest measure in our business.
Okay.
Same store guest traffic. So, you know, we launched Bitcoin, accepting Bitcoin payments. Customers have responded. Everything's spiked up. It's still spiked up. But honestly, I can't speak to competitors because we don't really look at our competitors. If we looked at them, we wouldn't have done it because we were the first to do it. So we said, look, we're going to meet our customers where they are, and they're asking us if we can accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the first and the best, maybe. So I don't want to make a statement on that, but a lot of people were asking us to meet them there, and so we did. We took the step and we met them there.
So we noticed that some of the employees, I mean, personally, I used it in I was one of the first at the store where I went to, and I kind of orange pilled the manager, the guy who comes around in the lobby.
Sure.
And I talked to him about Lightning Wallet, and I actually sent him a few sats and stuff, just so he kind of like, and so I, because we're interested in more adoption, but just kudos to you and Steak and Shake for the rollout. It's kind of universal among the people that I talked to about that it was like this is a poster child of how to do this the right way.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate it. And we know, look, they're savers, right? People don't want to part with their Bitcoin just like people save their dollars, but we want to give you the option to pay alongside cash and credit, which are globally accepted payment methods. So we're putting Bitcoin on par as a medium of exchange in our restaurants, and people have responded. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, Dan, thank you. Congratulations, and we're gonna if you get dillaged with a bunch of companies that want to find out how to do this the right way, we might send them your way.
That's fine. I'll send them to the tech guy.
Okay.
But thank you.
Yeah, you take care.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, so there you go. And what I would say is that during that video, and I think some of the guys I was there with during the video, my order number is 295. Did you hear that in the background? 295, your order's ready. She's yelling that. Boy, she is efficient. She wants to get that order out there. And here I am oh, that's so classic, though. I mean, here I am trying to do 15 things at once, and interviewing the COO from Steak and Shake while my order's being blared out at the the pickup counter. So anyway, all that just to kind of keep this in tight. We're going to keep a short rip today. Just wanted to let you know that we are early. 100,000 is like cheap. Bitcoin is cheap right now. Get off zero, get some Bitcoin, get some knowledge, get a million sats, like Jerry said. That's a good first goal to have. Get to 1 million sats. Really, like crazy. That's a great goal. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, I know the Lord is in this, and He's moving, and He's getting people. He's getting people ready for Bitcoin, into Bitcoin. He's moving in the hearts of people. I know He is, and it's just a wonderful thing. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this audience. I'm thankful for all of you all, and it's just such a great thing to be a part of this, and we need to move. We need to encourage people to move toward this, because our financial system, as Lynn Alden said, is on a debt train that it won't stop. It's on a debt train that is not going to stop, and that is a scary thing. It's an unbiblical thing, and if this country continues to pile debt, you got to have an exit plan. You got to have an off ramp, because there's no other way. The debt has to be repaid. So anyway, this is Bodie. I'm going to sign off from Washington State, and it's so good to be here. So good to be among the trees and the birds, and another great day. As you can see, It's early morning. I'm drinking water first. I got to have my water, and then I'm going to be drinking coffee. So coffee's coming. Have a great day, y'all. Take care, and look forward to another time of getting things going back when we get back in the studio. All right. See you soon.